Now I want to discuss a game between Tarrasch and Kurscher, played in Nuremberg, 1889. The opening is a Queen's Gambit accepted ECO code D20. So the game started out by white playing D4, black played D5, and then white played C4, so the Queen's Gambit. And black took on its second move, D takes C4, so we have the Queen's Gambit accepted. And then white played the move E3. Now normally in this position you'd get white playing knight to F3 to stop black's move of E5. But white plays E3, and then black plays bishop to F5, and the idea behind this is to play follow it up by playing E6, because in the Queen's Gambit black will could get a problem, or usually has a problem, of developing this bishop, so black tries to get rid of one of its problems early. But we'll find out in the theme of this game is that with black moving this bishop out, white's going to exploit the absence of the bishop, and especially this unprotected pawn. So maybe the theme of this game is don't leave home too early for the bishop. An alternative to bishop F5, like I said before, is that normally white plays knight to F3 to stop E5. So what happens if black would have played E5? The game would have probably continued E5, which I just showed. Black would probably take the pawn, and then the pawns would be exchanged off, leaving white with an isolated pawn. But this looks better than what actually happened in the game. So that's just one continuation. But black played on its third move bishop to F5. White took the pawn, so equalizing in material. Black played E6, which two things. It releases this bishop here on F8, and also it stops any I call it funny business of before this pawn here was under attack. So if black would have played a different move, this pawn is under attack, and white could have played something like, queen to B3, giving a second attack on it. So that move is twofold. It frees this bishop and stops what I call some of the funny business of some type of attack on the F7 pawn. But here now white on its fifth move plays a queen to B3, obviously attacking this this pawn here. And now black is somewhat being punished for leaving home early with the bishop. Black's going to play bishop to E4, which looks like a good move. Whoops. Because it not only does it protect this pawn, but it also attacks this pawn here and threatens to win the rook. So it looks like a good multi-move for black, but actually white has the nice response of F3, which defends and also makes the bishop move. And where's the bishop to go? Well, it has to still defend this pawn on B7. So now the bishop is driven back to C6, and just sort of puts a damper on black's plans, because normally this knight here is developed to C6, and it also prevents black from playing as C5, a freeing move in the Queen's Gambit. So now the bishop is interfering with strategy. White continues on its seventh move with knight D2, so developing the knight. It can't go to F3, so it goes E2 and prepares for castling. Black plays knight F6, also developing a piece, helping to control the center, even though Looks like white has a very good grip on the center for right now, or has a better grip. And with white's 8th move, white will play e4, taking further control of the center and threatening the play of the move, starting to prepare the move d5. And black will play bishop to e7. I mean, where's the bishop really going to be developed to? I mean, develops here. White just, moves, wins a piece by this, by playing e5. If can't go there, obviously can't go there. So there's only one move for that bishop. So black develops the bishop and prepares for castling. And now white, on its 9th move, plays knight on b to c3. And this does threaten to now win a piece, or at least a pawn, let's see, by playing d5. Let me just show you what happens. Let's say black makes some move which doesn't really affect the position too much. Let's call that h6. And now, if then white would play d5, and then the pawns would be exchanged off, and then the bishop would have to move, and now the queen comes straight down and wins this pawn, and probably is going to win this, possibly win that. Well, it's going to win the rook over there. So instead, black plays queen to c8 to defend the pawn after, if white plays d5. And that's what happens. White plays d5, and then that line I just showed you does happen. So e takes d5, e takes d5. The bishop comes to d7. And now the queen cannot take the pawn. And now white is left with a decision. Now this game is looking pretty good for white. This pawn here is looking pretty good. It controls this square and this square, preventing black from playing this move, or this move and this move. So that pawn's doing a pretty good job. But what white notices that the pawn is preventing, though, the influence of the queen and the bishop along this diagonal. Also can get this pawn moves. Also, we can get the king to basically force it or deprive it of its right, the castle. So white on its 12th move played d6. And it just looks like white's giving away a free pawn, but it's not. So black played bishop takes d6, but white plays bishop takes f7 check, forcing the king to move, now depriving of its right at the castle. King goes to d8. And then white on its 14th move will play bishop to g5. So white develops the bishop and pins the knight. So a good twofold purpose move. And this, we'll later see that this knight plays an important role, or it's going to play an important role in defense. But right now it's going to become the victim of an attack. So this knight now can't move. It's pinned. Black plays knight to c6. Really hard to find a good move for black at this moment. But black chooses to develop the knight, which will bring hopefully another piece into the battle, and also give the queen and rook a little bit of breathing space. Now white plays knight to e4, attacking the pin knight a second time. There's an expression in chess, pin and win. So in a mobile piece, a pin piece is a nice piece to attack because it can't move and becomes usually the victim of additional attacks. and I'm going to stop it right there and continue this game on the next video.